Yeah, you are doing that, aren't you?
Is that the intro to some cat butt?
Sure. There will be more. He's fascinated with
You should
cords,
just like
and
hold up the cat to
I don't
the
want to
camera at
expose
some
him. I don't
point.
want to expose him like that.
I don't think that's a crime.
Yeah, but let the guy have some modesty. He's only 5 months old. Yeah, you're only 5 months old.
Yeah,
You're just a
yeah, I wouldn't do that
baby.
with a 5-month-year-old.
Yeah, he's just a
But
baby.
animals are different. They walk around naked all the time. Babies aren't allowed to do that.
No,
I mean, that's what I've heard.
that's what you've heard. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spark Avengers. My name is Corey, and with me is Dylan and John. How's it going, guys?
I knew that was gonna be the intro. God damn it! You always wait till I'm saying something that could be taken out of context,
Yeah, there
and you
was.
think
I
that
think the DC Heroes one was talking about like was actually the jury duty conversation from last time. Added to it was like talking about how there's a dress code for jury duty, and how it was like, oh yeah, I can get dressed up. You can only put make so much makeup on a pig before it becomes untenable. And you were like, but you could still fuck them. It was like, and that's the intro.
but also it's not incorrect.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's still possible. Anyway, whatever. Hello.
So hi, folks. We've had the last few weeks we have despite it being like the holidays and notoriously it's like kind of when people phone it in. We've been kind of busy. We've had multiple episodes of our bracket. We finally have our final four settled. We have had 2 episodes talk about the Kang Dynasty. And we kind of thought that we would just, now that it's, I believe, the second week of February, we're going to kind of relax a little bit. Kind of have a laid back episode, kind of have free form, just open conversation and see where that takes us.
Sounds lovely.
He's having a party over here, and I'm just kind of waiting to see what he inevitably breaks.
You could let us see it too.
Oh, the microphone's in the way. He's just kind of hanging
Oh,
out
he's
here.
just lying down.
Yeah, he's like kicking the desk and like fighting for stuff underneath it. Yeah, like there's a lot of this going on.
Oh, he's just having a wee nap.
I wish he was taking a nap. No, this is the prelude to something I've referred to as Baby Tiger, where he just starts running around and diving at things. He has like perfected wall running,
Wow.
So like he will be on the floor and he'll run along the back of the couch by sinking his claws into it and just like using that to propel himself. So he's an interesting little guy.
Do you think if you grew your fingernails out, you could also perfect that technique?
No. I think it's a body weight issue. I think
Okay. Do you think?
because he weighs 6 pounds. So yeah.
Do you think if you were able to lose some weight to become 6 pounds, would you be able to do it?
The human head itself, I believe, weighs 8 pounds. So that it's I don't think it's possible.
We can trim that. We can like scrape some of the bone off.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
We could figure it out. We'll
I
get
don't know.
a tiny little body, or just a big couch.
Yeah. Just a massive couch.
Yeah, maybe that's the key. Yeah.
Change the size of the
Actually, what
couch.
that reminds me of is then that Wolverine Origins movie, the scene where Liev Schreiber's Sabretooth is chasing down like teenage Cyclops and he's like running on all fours. That just have a weird mental image of me attempting to do something like that.
Yeah, don't you think that would be cool? They thought it was cool, and they put it in the film.
I don't think it would look cool. I think I just end up hurting myself in some way.
Think about all of the other cool things they put in that film.
I just turned 39, by the way, so I'm old. My body's breaking down.
You're not that old.
No, I know.
You're not old.
No, I know. I just
No,
like
you're
to be,
a young whippersnapper.
people like to be very dramatic
Compared to me.
about that. Because yeah, John's 65.
Exactly.
That's why like John doesn't show his webcam because it's a portrait of Dorian Gray situation. If someone else were to see an image of him, they would John would begin to rapidly age in real life.
Well, also, I'm so old, I don't know how to work technology as well and turn it on.
That's just the joke I was gonna make. So,
Oh boy.
because I am also old.
Yeah. We're all old.
I'm 102.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, comic book stuff wise, the Age of Revelation is officially over. I just read the first post Age of Revelation comic. They're about
Mhm.
to kickstart a whole new series, a miniseries for the X-Men, a brand new X-Men series that's going to revolve around Emma Frost opening a school, because of course, why wouldn't they open another school? DC is announcing some new titles. They have titles for Batwoman, Lobo, Zatanna, and Firestorm now that are coming out. Plus, we talked about that rumor of Emperor Aquaman where he's going to get like cosmic powers and shit. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the comic book world at the moment. Is there anything interesting that's kind of come across your radar?
Not really. As is quite typical for me. I don't really pay attention to a lot of modern comics. I read some stuff from a recent Spider-Man run. This Joe Kelly run, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I like Joe Kelly a lot. I like Spider-Man. I don't know if I like any of this. It's so just not Spider-Man. You know? Like this guy comes down and from space and just like beats the shit out of Spider-Man like repeatedly. I don't remember the name of the guy, but he just like John, you know who I'm talking about?
I think his name is it Hellgate or something like that.
It's something like that. So he beats the shit out of Spider-Man and then he's like, I'm not afraid of you. And then he like fucks off. And then the comic I read the other day was he's they're in space now. So Peter is like trying to chase down this guy or something, and he's in a spaceship with Rocket Raccoon and a bunch of other weird looking fucking people. And they go to this guy's planet, and then the guy beats the shit out of him again. And I'm like, what? What is this? And then the comic ends with Rocket Raccoon crashing his spaceship like into the bad guy, and then they get on a different spaceship and like escape. And I'm like, what? Remember Spider-Man used to punch like the
Villains?
lizard in the face?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck is this?
Mm.
I am no fan of like space stuff, and I'm not a big fan of, as we've talked about, ground level people getting too above their station. You know, if this was the Fantastic Four, you'd be like, yeah, this makes sense. But there's been so little explanation about what's going on here, and also like so little reason to give a shit about what's going on here that I'm like thoroughly confused. But I have no inclination to find out what it's about. You know what I mean? I would rather
Yeah.
just wait for this run to and then do something else. It's like the Kindred thing. At first, I was intrigued. Actually, the Kindred thing was better because at first I was intrigued, and then they fucked it to the point where you're like, "Well, I don't care how it ends. It doesn't matter how it ends. It's gonna be a disappointment." This feels like that in that I don't care how this ends. I just want it to end because I don't want to see this shit anymore.
Yeah.
I want him to go. Remember the chameleon?
Yeah.
He was great.
When's
Let's
the
go
last
back.
time Spider-Man fought the Rhino? You know?
Remember the Shocker?
Yeah.
Straight up, he's just got shocky gauntlets. What's wrong with that? Jim Cummings played him in the Spider-Man TV show. Didn't he? I think he
I
did.
think so. It sounds about right for Jim Cummings.
I believe it was Jim Cummings.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of what's going on in the Spider-Man world. Well, Marvel's just kind of fucking weird right now anyway, because like
Wait.
there's that. The Scarlet Witch is now Sorcerer Supreme. Doctor Strange is fucking around in Asgard. It's like it just seems
Doom
sometimes
is
it just
dead.
yeah, it just seems like they're just like, let's shuffle the status quo for the sake of it, and it's like you don't always have to do that, you know? Like stuff can just be what it is for a while. Because like not, I mean, like Mary Jane is still Venom, as of the time of this recording, you know, and that's still weird to wrap your head around.
Like how is this still a thing? Like
Yeah.
surely that's one of those things where like you get 3 issues out of it max, and then off we go. It's like who's still reading it? I can't wait to see how it ends. Nobody cares
Yeah,
about Mary
it's
Jane Pierce. What the
well, and
fuck?
then like and then like Marvel, like they reset the X-Men after a big period of time where they're in the Krakoa stuff, and then immediately like, all right, cool, we're gonna sideline this for 3 months as we do a Elseworld story, basically.
Mm. Yeah, weird decision.
Yeah, and like now we're dealing with the repercussions of that.
But it was also weird, sort of just jettisoning. Yeah, that's the word. All of the Krakoa stuff and almost like pretending it doesn't exist as
Oh
well.
yeah, I
Like,
mean, aside from a few like mentions and like a couple of odd things, like it doesn't. I will say this: I think of the books I've read, the ones that I see talk more, like deal more with the Krakoa stuff, is Jed McKay's X-Men run has been dealing with it because that's like Magneto is still like fucked up from the regeneration process, and like he's wheelchair bound, and be like Krakoa Beast, Evil Beast, is seemingly now one of the big bads in that book, and I think an
it's sort of
exceptional.
weird that Magneto is sorry. It's sort of weird Magneto is feeling those effects though when he didn't even get resurrected through the like Krakoa protocols. He came back another way, and I've completely forgotten what it was, but it
Yeah,
definitely wasn't through regular Krakoa resurrection.
not, yeah, unless it was like an off-panel thing, because I know there was like a thing in the X-Force book where they were like, yeah, Wolverine and Quentin Quire have been resurrected the most out of anyone because of doing the Black Ops stuff that they've been doing.
Mm.
But yeah, no. So he's dealing with like Magneto's dealing with that because he's kind of acting as an advisor for Cyclops. I did so. So anyway, yeah, I read the most recent issue. There's another issue comes out this upcoming week. But this was mainly like, hey, this is what happened in the regular continuity while the Age of Revelation books were going on. Where basically the Cyclops of the Age of Revelation's mind was put into the Cyclops of the current era's body, and he immediately tried to kill Doug Ramsey. And was confused because Beast was supposed to be there with him, but Beast wasn't there. Like it was just still regular Beast. It wasn't like the Beast of Age of Revelation. And he's the one who confronted Magneto, and he's like, like we have to do this. We have to kill Doug. Like, there's no other way around it. He's gonna fuck up the world as Revelation. He cannot be trusted to do it. We got to get rid of him now. And he's like, why aren't you helping Magneto? And Magneto's like, I can't because my powers are all messed up. And like, no, the timeline's wrong. This doesn't
Well,
make sense. But yeah, the big reveal was that the Beast of the future, when he was sent back, he was put back into the body of one of the 3K big bads. Which, by the way, that's my prediction for how they're going to fix Magneto. Is he's going to get put into one of the Joseph clone bodies because one of the members of 3K is that woman who was obsessed with Magneto and cloned and made Joseph. So there's another Joseph around. So I'm gonna guess they're just gonna put Magneto's mind in that guy's body and call it a day.
that sounds like the kind of bullshit that they would do,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
And then they'll just be like, well, this is Magneto now. You're like, are you sure? Because it sounds like he died. Like, doesn't sound like that's Magneto. No, no, this is Magneto.
yeah.
And we'll
Especially
never re-
because he's been
reference it
drawn.
again.
Yeah, he's been drawn. He looks really frail and like sitting in like the little Xavier wheelchair essentially. And then like, but the Joseph is like big and buff with like long wavy hair, and it's like, yeah, this is gonna how they're going to de-age Magneto again. I'm guessing.
I
They could
mean, I
just get
guess you
Mojo to
kind of
do it.
have to, though, don't you? Because, like, if Magneto's whole backstory
It's
is
still
sort
the
of centered
Holocaust.
on him being in,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
he's 100 years old now.
you got
We're
to keep
getting to
him
that
around.
point where he's canonically 100. It would be like Dick Van Dyke.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Dick Van Dyke could be a good Magneto.
Sure, he
Can
does
you
all.
imagine?
I've seen his daily exercise routine that keeps him so youthful and spry at 100 years old.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine Dick Van Dyke as Magneto? Imagine this: the X-Men are in Avalon. They're about to fight Magneto and his acolytes, and Magneto just starts tap dancing.
But he puts on the big Cockney accent he had in Mary Poppins. Oh,
Hello, mate.
it's me, the master of
It's
magnetism.
me, your old pal Magneto. You want to see me do a little shuffle? And he starts. They're like, "What the fuck is this?" And then he pulls the adamantium out of Wolverine. But he's like, "Oh,
Makes a cane
sorry,
out
mate."
of it. Does a little number with the cane.
Top hat. And they're like, "Magneto, we're about to die, and you've killed Wolverine." He's like, "Oh, I'm just putting on a show, mate." I don't know what accent this is. Is it English or Australian? I don't.
You're from there,
It's a
yeah,
fine line.
John. You're from there. How is our Cockney accents?
I mean, no worse than what's his
Van Dyke.
names. So
Dick Van
yeah,
Dyke?
you know, did well.
You forgot the name of Dick Van Dyke that we just said like 50
Yeah,
times.
like literally, I'm old. What can I say?
The
My
man's a
memory shit.
legend.
He is old.
He's old. Oh boy.
Dick Van Dyke's old.
He doesn't
Alright,
remember
that's-
my name, so fuck him.
Magneto.
Speaking of older actors playing Magneto, I keep seeing screenshots of some Doomsday trailer that went out. Is that AI or not?
No,
don't know
there's
which-
like a
Is that
bunch of
legitimate?
mini teaser trailers. Yeah, there's one. The first one was Steve Rogers like returning to Peggy's house and holding a baby
Getting pegged.
seen that one.
and like putting away a costume. The second one was Thor, who after his last movie, he's kind of
He's retired.
hung
right?
up his hammer and he was looking after
The little
was
little
it
dog
Gore?
girl.
Gore the
Yeah, Gore's daughter.
yeah, his daughter. And basically like praying to Odin to give him the strength to go to war again. And then the third teaser was the X-Men one where we have like
Cyclops
Magneto and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I haven't seen
and
that.
Cyclops, like it closes on a classic like sort of cartoon slash comic sort of pose with Cyclops ripping off his mask or his visor and just
Going
like
full
shooting
power.
an eye blast into the air because he's he's tortured by something.
It's implied that
And then
I
the
think
latest one just
yeah.
got released.
If I'm not mistaken, it's implied that they're like Doom Sentinels or something. That's what I
Well,
heard the implication
potentially.
was. Yeah. Anyway, so what's the new
Yeah.
the new teaser?
The new one is involving Shuri as the Black Panther, and like a crossover with like the Fantastic Four as well. It has the Thing talking to M'Baku. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not particularly
Not as
interesting
exciting as
or
the other
like
ones. It sounds like it.
no. But it's weird that they still are holding back from showing like Doctor Doom
They
and
might
giving
as well.
away
Yeah.
more of the plot and stuff.
So the question I'm gonna ask: are you excited for this?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I mean like the whole idea of the different movie versions like crossing paths and stuff is something that kind of, ticks a lot of my boxes. It was cool when they did it in the Spider-Man movie, and it worked to like a certain extent in Deadpool and Wolverine as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think now that Marvel pretty much own all of their IP again,
Yeah.
why not do stuff like that and take advantage of it? Because it ticks a lot of sort of nostalgia boxes for a lot of people. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to it for some reason.
I'm into it just because I wanted to see how they pulled it off.
Yeah.
So I remember whenever Marvel had to pivot away from Kang, and Jonathan Majors, and they said, "Oh, it's gonna be Robert Downey Jr. as Magneto, or not as Doctor Doom." I was like, "Okay, cool. I can understand how you could get there." And then like it felt like everybody else was like, "What the fuck, you? How could you do this?" And I'm like, "You don't at all see the connection between Iron Man and Doctor Doom? Like, you guys idiots? Like, it doesn't make sense that in a different timeline, a different dimension, Iron Man could become Doctor
yeah.
Doom. I don't think that is the biggest
Well,
stretch.
yeah. But the thing is, though, it's like it's not Tony Stark has become Doctor Doom. I think he is playing like Victor Von Doom in it,
He
which
just
is
looks,
like, well,
Oh,
yeah, it
w-
just looks like Tony Stark.
yeah,
is that true? Because
which,
in my head, I'm like, it makes sense if there's an evil version of um Tony Stark who becomes Doctor Doom. I
Yeah, I
can
mean, it's
see
a
that.
superior Iron
If it
Man.
really is him playing Victor Von Doom, you're like, okay, do you have face surgery to look like Iron Man? Because yeah, you look like Iron Man, dude. You
mhm.
know. But I'm excited because Marvel, when it comes to them getting a lot of their big hitters together, they usually do pretty well. You know, I know a lot of people have been a little down on some of the more recent Marvel films. Like John said, that Spider-Man one was a big highlight because it had a lot of heavy hitters in one film. It all made sense and it all came together. So I am excited to see it because it feels big. And
Mm.
they haven't done a big film like this in a long time. Again, I think Spider-Man is probably the last
2016?
one.
Was it 2016,
Yeah.
2017?
I think it was after 2016, but you're
Yeah, I
still
think it's like 2019 when
Okay.
Endgame
yeah,
came out.
Okay.
that's probably closer. But even then, it was 2019. What's that?
5 years.
6, 7 years? Like,
7 years ago.
yeah, they needed something big, and I feel like this is big. It's interesting. It's gonna get people talking. It's gonna get people interested. So I'm interested in it. I saw two trailers. I saw the Thor one and the Captain America one. And those ones didn't really, inspire me to go see the film more because I'm like,
Hmm.
whatever. Oh, I'm Captain America. I want to save people. We'll get out of town. I'm Thor. I'm gonna do my best to beat that guy up. Like, what is this? I know. I know. I haven't seen the X-Men one. I'm intrigued by that. I'd like to see that. But I don't think those teaser trailers would have changed my mind about going to see it because I would have went to see it anyway, I think.
Mm.
I don't
Mhm.
know. For some reason, it's not doing anything for me. But I feel
I
the
just
same way
fucking hate
about.
Marvel.
Well, no, I mean, I feel the same way about the DC stuff because, like, the Lanterns is coming out and Supergirl is going to be coming out, and they're talking about Man of Tomorrow, and they announced the actor who's going to be Brainiac. And it's like, that seems like a big deal because it's going to be the first time, like, every Superman movie has had a Lex Luthor. But they have never dived into the other villains in the Superman, like, world. Like, it's been Luthor and Zod. And that's been, like, every iteration that they've done a Superman movie is either Luthor or Zod. Um, and so now, like, oh, where we have this new one coming up and it's going to be Brainiac. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. I don't, but it's just like, again, like, I don't know. I'm not a movie person, I suppose. Because I think I've discussed this enough over the years. Like, we've been talking about the movies of, like, I like the continuity of the comics, and I usually don't care for a lot of the changes they make for the movie versions.
But it's a different continuity. It's
Yeah,
their
that's what I'm
own
saying.
continuity.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're making changes to something I already know, and I don't really care for them for the most part, and that's fine. I'm not
But isn't
judging
that
them. I'm just
isn't
saying I
that
don't
the
care
same?
for it.
It, well, isn't that the same as like the absolute Batman or the Ultimate
Yeah,
Universe
but
and
I don't
shit?
read the
It's
absolute or
it's
the ultimates either.
right because
Yeah.
I don't. I never read the Ultimates, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's really good." I'm like, "Yeah,
Uh,
but I like
yeah.
regular Spider-Man.
I
Like
will tell
that's what I
you.
like."
I will tell you, the Ultimates does not hold up. If you're gonna go back to the old Ultimate Universe, the only thing I'd recommend is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Everybody says Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Yeah, everything else does not hold up. It aged terribly, with the Ultimates being some of the worst. Just Mark Miller at his most
Yeah.
unhinged.
Well, we've talked about it
Yep.
before.
Hulk going into a rampage
Me and
because it
Corey
was
are very
implied that he was
vocal about
gay.
Mark Miller.
Like, ugh. Anyway,
I mean, you can apply it,
yeah.
you know?
Anyway, I hear good things about the new Ultimate Universe, and a lot of people are bummed out that they are like, yeah, we're ending it, soon. It wasn't going to be an ongoing thing. It was going to be a short run. And a lot of people are really bummed out about it,
Mhm.
and a lot of people are also like, well, I mean, that's good though. It's not going to last too long. Like, Ultimates 3 was miserable, and then they went into Ultimatum and they killed off like most of the world. I mean, the Ultimatum storyline was one of our first episodes where we talked about like just the ridiculous kill count in that and like the absurd way a lot of those
Mhm.
characters were killed.
You remember the thumbnail for that was it me being eaten by the blob?
Yeah, I think it was you being eaten by the blob. I think that was the beginning of you drawing yourself really small as well, so you could fit in the blob's
No,
mouth.
I think I was big for that one because the blob was eating me.
Okay.
I think the small one was Japanese Spider-Man
No. Yeah,
because
because
you
you were
two were on a couch and I was
the
a
little
tiny little
claymation guy.
goblin.
Yeah, the little clay
Yeah.
guy.
No, we're watching a big
Yeah.
TV and you two are on a sofa, like, and then I'm on the floor, like really small on the floor, like looking up at the TV. And I think that was the first time that I was a small character, and it's it's endearing.
Well,
I like it better because you can tell the difference. You don't
yes,
want all three of us look because we're all three of us have
we have distinct
glasses,
looks.
nerds, whatever. It's better if one of us is just a little gremlin.
So, would you like to hear some of the upcoming X books that are, I think, starting to come out? I think this month in January, February.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's a Cyclops miniseries. It's a 5-issue run. The storyline seems to be that Cyclops is alone in the Alaska tundra without his visor, being hunted down by the Reavers. We have a Generation X-23 that is going to be a Laura Kinney book mixed in with her sister Gabby. In Glorious X-Force, there is a Magic and Colossus miniseries. It's going to be a 5-issue run. There is a Danny Moonstar series that's going to be a 5-issue run. There's a Rogue miniseries that's going to be a 5-issue run. Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant, is going to be it. Now, here's the thing. I have seen it being advertised as a 5-issue miniseries, but I think the author has come out and said that it's not a miniseries. It's ongoing. So, there you go. Uncanny X-Men still is picking back up after the Age of Revelation with Gail Simone still behind it. Wolverine is picking up where it left off with Saladin Ahmed still behind it. We have Wade Wilson Deadpool, written by Benjamin Percy. Jed McKay's X-Men is going to be continuing on. Ryan Stegman is no longer going to be doing art for it, though. He's moved on. And then we have X-Men United, which we talked about moments ago, which seems to be replacing the Exceptional X-Men book by being focused on students, with Emma Frost being a big factor behind it. I know a lot of folks are a little weird about it because I think it's like Cyclops as opposed to the idea of them doing a school again. And Cyclops fans are notoriously kind of sensitive about him being portrayed as a jerk.
He's a jerk, though.
Not like Charles Xavier, who's up in space still.
Well, who can blame him?
Because I think like
Have you seen down here? It fucking sucks.
Well, he's got his
Go to
wife back.
space.
He's got a kid back. I think
It's
there's
his kid.
Well, it's his kid with Lalandra.
Yeah, what's that kid? Wolverine? Would not be a twist.
Oh dear.
Magneto.
Yeah.
Imperial Guardians is like the Guardians of the Galaxy book that's going to be running, and that's a lineup right there. It looks like it's Captain Marvel, Gamora, the Amadeus Cho version of the Hulk, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Darkhawk.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty hard for me to give less of a shit about that book.
It's Dan Abnett running it, and like Dan Abnett was one of the architects of the old Cosmic Marvel back in the 2010s, 2000s. So it's gonna be good. I mean, that's the guy
Mhm.
behind like like King's Conquest and Annihilation War and stuff. But like that's a lineup right there.
I like Gamora.
But yeah,
I like Captain Marvel.
they're recruited by Maximus of the Inhumans. He's kind of the person who's sending them on missions.
Oh
Why?
man, just when I couldn't care less, you had to bring in the
Brought in
Inhumans.
the Inhumans.
Please.
If only I'd brought if it had been the Eternals, would that have been worse or?
I mean,
I would say
yeah.
about the same.
Because Star Lord like is evil now, if I'm not mistaken, right? Wasn't that like the fallout of
Why?
Imperial?
Really?
I think so. I think like he had a big twist happen at the end of that storyline that Hickman was doing, and I thought it
What?
was
How?
he
Why
became
would he turn
evil.
evil?
Let me see if I could find out real quick if that's true. I saw a very incriminating looking full page spread.
Just him shooting Drax in the head
Uh,
repeatedly, kicking him in the dick.
Star Lord is the new king of space, an Imperial twist.
What the fuck does that even mean?
He's
Yeah.
the new ruler of the Spartax Empire, so he has become a
King of
villain.
space.
Yeah, he's taken over from his father, Jason of Spartax, and has assumed the role of Emperor of Spartax and is now a villain.
What's the impetus for that?
I don't
Why
know.
was he like, listen, I'm pretty good. I've saved the galaxy on so many occasions. So no, I think I deserve to own all of space. Like, what are we doing
There's
here?
a
What are we
galactic
doing?
union that is being ran by the Hulk, Black Panther, and Black Bolt. And it was discovered that Black Bolt's Inhumans threw the galaxy into chaos to basically have a coup to launch and assume this kind of power. And Star Lord is cool with it. I guess he's now one of the main rulers and had a falling out with Nova about it, and that kind of explains Nova's status quo as kind of this kind of getting by doing odd jobs thing that his current comic is about. Cosmic Marvel is really weird because it feels so neglected that they can just do stuff and then nobody reads it.
Mm. Well, what I was going to say was, in wrestling, whenever they turn a guy heel for no reason,
Yeah.
and like there's like everybody loves like Austin at WrestleMania. Everybody loves this guy. Nobody wants to see him a heel. Like, why have you done this? Nobody's gonna like this.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna buy this. Why would you turn Star Lord heel for no reason? And then whenever you said, "Oh, Cosmic Marvel," it's been so untouched for so long. Like people can just do whatever they want and nobody gives a shit. Then I was like, okay, it's less like Steve Austin turning heel, and it's more like WCW in the year 2000, which is like nobody's watching, so who gives a fuck?
mm,
Here it is.
Yeah.
You like it? Do you not like it? Just talk about it, please. Say
It
something
does
about
seem
it.
like they were just like trying to shake everything up with like resurrecting Lalandra and having her and Xavier go to space and do stuff. Because from what I understand, that decision is what fucked up some of the X books originally, because Xavier was supposed to be, I think, central to maybe the Uncanny X-Men plot, with him being imprisoned at the Gray Malkin Institute. Because they had that whole storyline of Rogue wanting to break him out of prison, and Cyclops being like, no, he needs to fucking stay because every time we let Xavier have an inch, he takes a mile. And then, like, he just fucked off and went to space anyway. Because that was another thing, like, his powers were out of control, but he got him fixed and went to space immediately after, and he was just like, all right, you guys have fun being on Earth. I'm out.
Not wrong.
No.
Like if you could fuck off into space, be with your girlfriend, you probably do it.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
You resurrected your girlfriend and your daughter.
I'd probably.
Because I
Yeah,
think that was like the
you
thing is
know?
like there
If
was
they're up
one
in-
last Krakoan egg, and it was revealed that I think it was revealed Lalandra was inside of it.
Yes. That's what it was. What a reveal that was. We were all on tenterhooks,
Yeah.
and then we got it, and we all went,
Ah.
all right.
Yep, that was the thing. What about
Mhm.
yeah, I just on the DC
Mhm.
side of stuff,
Yeah,
they just
there it is.
announced Reign of the Superboys is going to be a thing they're doing.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a really terrible porno.
I'm kind of
It sounds
curious to
like a
see.
porno.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious where it goes because like Action
We know where
Comics.
it goes. Yeah, we know where it goes.
Thank you. Action Comics for the last like several months, last year maybe even. Mark Waid has been writing it, but it's like takes place in the past, focusing on like Clark Kent as a teenager, like being Superboy for the first time. And a lot of people are hoping that this is going to be them undoing Brian Michael Bendis aging up John Kent from 12 years old to 16, 17-year old, where they tried to get a lot of attention by saying he's the main Superman right now, and he's bisexual and has a pink-haired boyfriend, and Fox News lost their fucking mind.
They did not like it.
Didn't care for it, and honestly, it did not many people seemingly read those books either. It was like the same creative team as the Nightwing book, but I didn't hear as many good things about it. I just a lot of what I did hear about the book was sort of like there was a lot of weird performative social justice things on it, like John and his partner like leading protests against like wage disparity or some such like that, like about equality. Like they were trying to like touch on like the early days of Superman back in the 1930s. He was kind of a social justice figure because he fought against like corrupt like tenants and stuff, like landlords and shit, corrupt government officials and stuff. And they're like, oh, we'll go back to the roots and have him like be that way in the modern day with a modern sensibility. But I think a lot of people just didn't really care for that.
Well, you can't really do that right now because people who do, like, if you did Superman fighting all those people, people are like, "Oh, Superman's woke now," and
They
you're
did that
like,
with
"Have
Absolute
you ever
Batman though.
read Superman?"
They like Absolute Batman a couple of months ago just put out. I think their annual is him beating up a bunch of Proud Boy white supremacists. Because that's the one where he does a
Right.
bunch of fucking wrestling moves, and like I saw people online going, "Wow, Batman did the one-winged angel. That's so cool." I'm like, "No, it's stupid."
Batman did the one-winged angel.
Yeah, he did.
That's the one he went with.
Yeah,
The one that takes an insane amount of setup to do.
yeah.
Just fucking.
So yeah,
What are we doing here?
you could look at if you look it up, you'll find it. It's just
Batman did the muscle buster.
yeah.
Like, why not just fucking kick him in the dick? You know.
I think yeah. I don't know if it's just because like they're really trying to play up that partnership between Warner Brothers and AEW while it's still there. But yeah, ugh,
That can't be it. That can't be
they're
it.
putting up. I mean, they're putting out the AEW comic. It's a DC Comics AEW
Right.
crossover.
But some pissy ass AEW 2-issue comic book, and then a Batman, some kind of continuity with watching AEW.
Yeah.
Those are two different things.
So
They're
absolute Batman, who's like
different.
7 foot tall and like jacked to the gills. I don't know why they have him doing Kenny Omega's moves. They
Who
wouldn't push
is
him in
bigger
AEW.
than everybody in AEW?
They wouldn't push him in AEW. He'd be doing jobs.
No, they wouldn't. They'd
He'd be
squash him
he'd be jobbed out to
repeatedly.
Mike Bailey.
He puts the trios belts on him 5 years later, and then he moves and goes to a different company.
He has to have surgery to repair
What
his
happened to
broken
Brian
body.
Cage? Is he still there? Is Brian Cage still in AEW?
Yeah, he's probably hurt though. I mean, he's Brian Cage. Is kind of what he does.
Like, didn't he like he was used like dirt for ages, and then didn't he sign another contract
Yeah.
to be with AEW, and like nobody's seen him in like a year?
Well, they put him with the Don Callis group.
Is he still with them?
Yeah, they've got like.
Is he?
I think so.
Is it? Yeah, is he?
I think he's injured.
Like,
boy.
does he do anything?
I don't fucking care about wrestling at all these days. I'm having to look this up. Brian Cage injury?
It's getting really tough sometimes. You know what I mean? It's not an easy path. A little bit like comics, where you're like, they should be easy, man. Just do nice, fun things that we like.
Yeah, he
know?
discovered an issue with his
not
right knee implant, which didn't grow into the bone, requiring another surgery to fix and correct the problem. That was late 2025.
Discovered an issue.
Yeah. He had to have knee
It's
surgery
supposed to
again.
look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got the implant, and they're like, "We got to do it again,
We gotta
man.
do it
We
again."
fucked it up.
Sorry.
We'll give you 3 knees this time to make up for it. That's fair.
Yeah,
you know,
that works out well. Um,
does
yeah,
it?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I like I said, I just don't care about wrestling at all these days. I was at a bar not that long ago, and they were like, they had like it was just me and the bartender, and he had it on AEW, and he was just sitting and watching. And then somebody came in, they're like, "Oh, I've heard of this show," and he's like, "Yeah, it's not very good." I just thought that was funny. He's like, "Yeah, it's not very good. Like, you can see how many people aren't there."
Why would he be watching it then?
I don't fucking know, man. I didn't hang around. I was like,
It's,
I would rather be anywhere but here at this moment.
that's the problem with AEW. People watch it, and they don't even know why they watch it.
Uh, anyway, we're not a wrestling podcast.
Anyway,
Yeah.
well, let's go. Yeah, let's go back to the X-Men.
Okay.
And not an X-Men podcast either.
No, we're not an X-Men podcast.
No, we were talking about Superman because I had a question.
Yes, you had a question about Superman.
Yes, you were talking about Superman, and then at some point they kind of showed him as a Superboy.
Yeah.
My question is, at what point do you go from Superboy to Superman? Is it
I think it's
turning of 18? Is there like a
I think it's when he moved. I think it's when he moved to Metropolis. To be honest with you, I think it's like when he moved out.
What age was he?
Well, he was like he graduated high school and left home. I think that's what it was. Is like him leaving, like no longer living with his mom and dad, is the transition to Superman.
What? So like roughly, like what would that be? Would that be 18?
That probably 18, 19.
Okay, so that is
Yeah.
even in Superman terms, that's still the same. Like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
a man now.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Because I think he's like.
So before that, he was.
Yeah.
Did he have like a little hat with a wee color on it?
No, but he is getting so the way that they're illustrating him to represent him being young in this book is instead of boots, he's wearing red Chuck Taylors with his Superman outfit, and he has like the shaggy he has this shaggy hair that is popular with kids right now.
Listen, I'm sure all of us know this, but we all know people who still wear Chuck Taylors.
Oh yeah. No, I know tons of people who still wear Chuck Taylors. I don't because I am old and
Correct.
I have issues with my body. Wearing Chuck Taylors would murder me.
We're all old.
Yes.
I don't have that issue. Fortunately, I can still wear sneakers and have a great time. I wear like exclusively just skate shoes. It's Converse like all the way down. You know.
Yeah.
They're comfy. They're so comfy.
But yeah, so one of those things that in that reign of the Superboys thing they're doing is Superman in the main Superman comic is being replaced by Superboy Prime. And this is a character that I would like to talk to you guys about at some point because it's sort of like it's kind of like a weird route. So Superboy Prime is Clark Kent from the Prime Earth. Prime Earth is the Earth we inhabit. So we are on Earth Prime right now. Okay? Just follow me on that.
Mm-hmm.
And in Earth Prime, he discovered like he is basically he's a big comic book fan, and his name happens to be Clark Kent, and then one day he realizes he has powers. And like this revelation kind of breaks him, and he becomes a villain, and he's super powered because he is the Superman of the real world. So he has the ability to break continuity, and it was illustrated in Infinite Crisis by him punching the fourth wall and breaking it. And they illustrated him punching the page like as the reader, and then panels breaking. Yeah, it's Jeff Johns. Anyway, he became sort of a straw figure for internet fans, essentially, like fanboys, because basically Superboy Prime hated a lot of the characters because he thought they ruined what he loved. They ruined, the comic books that he read back on Earth Prime, and that he was going to fix it by getting rid of them. And so, like, he killed a bunch of Teen Titans. He killed like the clone Superboy from the main continuity. He was supposed to originally kill Nightwing, apparently, but that was part of the Dan DiDio hates Dick Grayson and wants him killed off for whatever reason. That was a thing for years. But anyway, they have kind of been bringing him back as this sort of redeemed, lovable scamp kind of guy. Like he's the nudge nudge, wink wink Deadpool of DC at the moment, in that sense that he, you know, talks like he was like talking about like how when someone freaked out when they saw him, he's like, oh no, you haven't read, I'm redeemed now. I had a team up with Superman. We're good. We're like, I'm a hero now again. It's cool. So it is weird because DC already has those fourth wall breaking characters. Like Harley Quinn has an element of that these days, and Ambush Bug very famously was the first one. And Dylan, we talked about Ambush Bug when we did that Keith Giffen retrospective with Justice League International. So it does seem,
we did. I remember that.
So it just seems weird that like I'm curious to see when this starts, like how it's gonna go with like having the main character of the book be Superboy Prime. But yeah, it's weird.
It sounds weird.
Yeah. I don't really, like I said, I don't really know what the point of this reign of the Superboy storyline is going to be, because it's also going to feature, you know, the clone Superboy. There's a character called Man of Tomorrow that's going to be brand new, and a lot of people are trying to like it's a mystery of who he is. But yeah, I don't know. It seems weird.
Sounds like there's way too many super characters.
There is
Just
a lot of
pick one.
super characters at the moment. Off the top of my head, there's Superman, Superboy, Superboy his son. There is
Superboy son?
No. Superboy, Superman.
Superboy
son.
boy.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that the Superboy, the third. This is Superboy that is related to this Superman.
Yeah.
And not.
Well,
Superboy didn't have a son that called him
Superboy.
Hold on,
Dylan. Hold on. So we'll start at the top again. There's Superman. That's Clark Kent. Then there is Superman. That is John Kent, who I refer to as Superboy because I have a hard time still calling him Superman. So there's Superman. That's Clark Kent. Superman. That's John Kent. There's Super-Man. That is a Chinese version of Superman. That's a product of the Chinese government testing. Yeah. Yeah. There's Superboy. That is the clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. There's Supergirl. There's Power Girl, which is Supergirl from Earth 2. There is Superwoman. That's Lana Lang with some weird electro powers. There's Steel. That's John Henry Irons. There's Steel, which is his, I think, niece. I think it's his niece. I don't think it's his daughter, but his niece, who is also Steel. There are these two kids that Superman adopted from like World that have like Kryptonian powers, kind of. I think they're called Philosians, though.
A lot of fingers.
Then there's there was somebody. Oh, there's Crypto, of course. So there's the super dog, and there's Streaky, the super cat.
The dog doesn't count.
Streaky, the super cat.
Animals don't count.
And there. Oh god, I feel like I'm absolutely missing someone, and I don't. Oh, there's been a couple of occasions where Lois Lane has had Kryptonian powers for a short period of time, and she was also Superwoman.
Was she a Venom?
And she was not Venom. No.
Yeah. Everybody else is.
There's a lot of DC is really big on like embracing the family dynamics of the characters, because DC's always been like the sidekick company. So there's like that, and you have the Batman family. The Green Arrow has a family of characters, and if you want to talk about some redundancies, and that's gonna get me a lot of hate if Green Arrow fans hear me say that, there's a lot of fucking Archers that have some relation to Oliver Queen some way or another. Like a lot of them. Like, you think that like Batman having 4 or 5 Robins and 3 Batgirls is a thing? Like, Green Arrow has Arsenal, Speedy, Arrowette, Red Canary, Red Arrow, like Speedy. Yeah, Speedy was his OG sidekick from back in the 1940s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, no, there's a lot of families. The Flash family also full of redundancies. We talked about them.
Let's cut that there. We'll just
Yeah, we're the Flash, the
don't need to talk
Flash,
about
Impulse, Max Mercury, Jesse Quick. Um,
Jesse Quick.
yeah, Jesse Quick. She's
Fucking hell.
she's from the Justice
Mr. Run
Society.
Fast.
Yeah, I can't. I think there was one character at one point named Accelerate. Um, but yeah, boy,
Heels.
sure.
Because his name is Miles per hour.
There you go, miles per hour.
So Heels gets into that. So you can
Shadow.
always find a way to get Sonic
Silver.
into the DC universe.
Jesus. All right. Well, yeah. Like I said, there's DC loves their family characters, and and every single one of those characters have their devout fan base that will go to war for that character.
Much like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Much like Sonic the Hedgehog. Biggs the cat. He's a member of the Flash family.
No, he isn't.
He's not. Okay.
I love Big the Cat.
Idris Elba sucking Sonic's toes. We'll bring that back.
That could be part of the Flash family all you want. That I don't blah blah blah. That's that. But Big the Cat,
No.
he stands on his own 2 feet.
No. And yeah, which
He's a
is
legend.
good because if he's not
This-
standing on him, then Idris Elba's gonna be sucking on him.
I hope that never happens to Big the Cat because he.
I don't
doesn't
know
deserve
why that makes me laugh so much that it's, Idris Elba in particular that's an issue he has, but it just amuses me for like. It just amuses.
Some
me.
people like that.
Yeah, like I said, it's right now. Like I said, a lot of the comic book stuff is just. I feel like the Marvel's just in a really weird place because they're also teasing like a big thing with the Avengers where it's being equated to disassembled, where it sounds like they're going to kill off a bunch of characters. And Spider-Man's a mess, which we touched on. The X-Men stuff is rebounding from Age of Revelation with a whole bunch of miniseries that are weirdly 5 issues. It just seems like 5 issues is such an odd number. Like, do 6, But
Why 5?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think 5 is probably because it's like a perfect trade like number. Like 5 issues is what you'd usually get in a trade paperback. So
Okay.
maybe
I thought
that's
6
the
would have been.
reason.
Yeah, I thought 4 or 6.
You don't think 6 is? I thought.
Well, I
6
mean,
was perfect
5's
trade.
the middle ground, isn't it? So there you go.
That's fair enough. He's got us there.
It's maths, baby.
There you go.
I can't argue with the facts.
Yeah, and like you said, DC's kind of just trucking along. I don't think they're aside from the DC KO thing that's going on that I've not read at all, and I don't feel upset about it. Like I've skipped that event entirely. It did inspire me to make our tournament, which I've been enjoying doing with you guys.
Yes,
Considering,
which is fantastic.
I mean, our final 4 is Scarlet Witch, Apocalypse, John Constantine, and Parallax.
Which is like way better than what they could have done.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Aquaman is the rumor is Aquaman's winning.
This is typical like WWE push the guy that they like, and who gives a shit?
We gotta
They
give
like
Aquaman the
Aquaman.
rub.
Yeah, he's gonna win.
Batman
Like
got jobbed
he's
out
gonna
pretty
beat the
early, too.
Nexus. He's gonna beat Randy Orton. He's gonna beat
Yeah.
Triple H. He's gonna beat that Undertaker. Not at WrestleMania, obviously, but at some point he beat the Undertaker.
And when he
Beat
finally,
everybody. John Cena.
when he finally
John
does,
Cena. He is John Cena.
when Aquaman finally does lose, he's gonna like tap out with a smile on his face, and people are gonna be angry about it.
But he's gonna feel okay with it.
Yeah, the story made sense.
That's
for
what
him.
matters.
It does.
I don't hate that, by the way.
It's fine. People are being weird about it. He lost. He put someone over.
I think
on
people
the
are being
end.
weird
Doesn't
about
fucking
it.
matter. The guy who never gives up
Well,
up. Gotta end sometime, man. That's inevitable.
But that's
Yeah.
that's the gimmick. That's why it's impactful. The guy that never gives up did give up. Like that's why that makes a fucking difference. That's incredible. People are just people got really upset about that. I'm like, you didn't see him win for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about? There was a point where John Cena did nothing but win. And you're upset that he lost one match?
Yeah.
I don't think so. How about grow the fuck up?
Well, John, how far are you
that
into
it?
your movie watch for 2026?
So far, I have watched 69, dude.
Heyo,
Nice.
sex number.
Play the.
Was it a porn?
That's the right number, right?
No, it was not.
It was the erotic adventures of Zorro.
Hey.
It's on. It's
it
called an
did have
app called.
Idris Elba in though.
There
What
it
was
is. We all make
what
sense.
was he doing?
He was not sucking on anyone's toes, but he did play a villain in it, which is kind of a rare thing for him, I guess,
That's
these
true,
days.
yeah.
Although I was saying that this came out like 12 years ago, so you know.
So, John, if well, I don't think. Did you say the title of the movie?
No, I don't think I did. I think it was called No Good Deed.
No Good Deed. So, John, what did you?
Well, Idris Elba sucks off how many toes?
Well, No Good Deed.
You gotta watch the film to find out.
Exactly. So, John, what did you give that on Letterboxd? How many out of 5 toes did you give that?
I gave it generous 2 toes out of 5.
Oh, he could get way
'cause
more.
of
it wasn't
toes.
He could get way more in there.
Yeah. It was like a schlocky thriller where he played a serial killer who like escaped prison and then terrorized a woman and then
By sucking
got
your toes.
killed because of course he did. That's what happens if you suck toes.
Learn a lesson, kids.
There you go. Don't say we never did anything
Don't
for
forget
you.
Idris Elba.
All right,
An educational podcast.
John, where can they find you on Letterboxd?
They can find me at Big John Bowski, all one word.
And Dylan, what are you getting up to this week?
I do a radio show every Monday night. It's on bouncedigitalradio.co.uk. You can go and listen to it online if you have access to the internet. Every Monday night at 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock on it's at UK time, so you can adjust your clocks accordingly. I play a lot of rock music, a lot of grunge music, a lot of fun stuff. When I'm not doing that, I will draw pictures on Twitch sometimes. It's Spooky LaRue. And then those animated pictures will go up online on YouTube at Team Crows NI. I think a lot of the links are down there. We put up another video. I forget when this video is going to come out, so I'm going to say we put up a new video last week. I don't know.
Second week of February. I think this would be going out.
By that point, I hope that I would have put another video out. So
Yeah,
I'm going to say yeah, that happened. But check it out. Please like our videos because I want people to like them.
There you go.
So,
Hey, that's all you need.
that's it.
I got stuff happening. We're still putting stuff together in a bit of a rebuild on some things. Gonna play around with some other stuff before I go. But by the time you're listening to this, there's been hopefully a couple more. But timeline wise, as of right now, the first edition of New Number Ones has been posted. The first episode is like 8 minutes long. Future episodes will probably be way less than that because I'm not introducing the premise of the show, and I'm also only doing one book at a time.
But also, you already know by this point because this is in February.
Yes.
You already know that those episodes are shorter.
Yeah,
so
exactly. They're like 3 minutes maybe. Anyway.
Yeah, it's already happened.
You can find those exclusively on YouTube. I'm not going to put those out anywhere else. So if you want to just see me talking about some random, new number ones for stuff that's not DC or Marvel, by all means check that out. Additionally, I have my other show, Large Old Cup, which is going through a bit of a rebuild and figuring out what I want to do with that moving forward. Until then, we will next time we'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was a very spooky one.
It was
'Tis the season.
Yeah.
St. Valentine's.
It is. Yeah. February Valentine's Day. It's just